Good evening, everyone. This is the Bella Vista Radio Club's Thursday night virtual meeting, May 7th, 2020. Thank you for joining us tonight. I think you're going to really enjoy the program that we have in store for you. Several of our local hams have invited you and I into their shack to see what they are up to. And before we start, I'd like to say my well wishes to you and your family. I hope everyone is healthy and doing well under the conditions that we're under. And it'll be really great someday to get back to eyeball QSOs and back at the church in Bella Vista. But until the meantime, we're going to try to do the best we can to stay together and enjoy our hobby. And this is one way. Camaraderie is a big part of this hobby. And so this is our effort to be able to meet with friends and at the same time do the safe distancing. Before we start out, I'd like to do two things. One is we proposed to have a free membership, a lifetime membership, for those who are of the age of 70 or above, or been a licensed ham for 50 or plus years. And the condition is that you're a current member of the ARRL. And so that proposal went out to the leadership, and there were no dissensions on that. So I think we're going to go with that. I think it's the right thing to do. And I think the other members of the leadership team feel the same way. And speaking of someone who would qualify for that is BVRC member Hank Kress, Kilo 8, Kilo Bravo Whiskey. And let me say a few words about Hank. Hank will be 97 on Monday, May 11th, and is the same age as Queen Elizabeth. KBW joined BVRC in 2018 after relocating from his native Detroit area to Apple Blossom Retirement Community in Rogers. Hank has been an 8th Call District ham for almost a century and is referred to as a Renaissance man by his family and accomplishments. For instance, Hank operated a successful marine dealership and during the lean winter months converted the business into a toy store. Hank is also a big band musician and friends with his keyboard skills. Many of us remember his beautifully crafted homebrew HF amplifier he proudly displayed for a show and tell like this at an earlier club meeting. Happy birthday, Hank. You are living proof that amateur radio truly is a hobby for life. And I'm sure he would appreciate if you wish him a happy birthday on the YouTube comments section. So without further ado, we are going to go to our first shack. He is, I believe, a professor emeritus of chemistry at the University of Arkansas. And he got his little bio here. He's married to Carol Andrews. He's got one son, Joshua, and one daughter, married to Jeffrey, who lives in Florida. His dad was a career Navy guy, so he traveled around a lot. His area of interest at the university was biological electron transfer and inorganic photochemistry. Those that know Dr. Bill knows that he's into all facets of the hobby, and I'll let him explain a little bit more about what he does in the hobby and what goals he's got for himself, and also what awards he's already accomplished. So, Dr. Bill, we're looking forward to hearing from you and looking at the chat. All right. Well, apparently we lost Bill, but hopefully we'll find him. And in the meantime, we're going to bring up someone who is a very active person in the hobby and is probably the go-to person around here when you've lost all hope in trying to solve your problem, ham radio or electronically. And that's Steve Warner. Oh, okay. All right. We'll pause. Steve, we'll pause with you, and we're going to take it over to Dr. Bill.
Okay, hello, folks. Glad to be here. I'm standing on the outside of my shack, and I wanted to show you my latest creation. So let me see if I can switch the thing backwards. There you go. You can see on the top of the roof a cupola. No chicken, but that's as good as I could get. That's a 20-meter quarter wave, and the roof is the ground plane. If you look in the background, you'll also see a tower and another antenna that's a quarter wave on just a steel post. Anyway, that's what I'm using normally. Now we'll go into the shop. Glad it stopped raining.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go into the place where the rig is at, and we'll start there. So here's the rig. And my bread and butter device is an ICOM 7300 and an ICOM 5100. And as you can see, the computer's there and everything else. And there's a Hot Water 101 sitting there, recently rebuilt, and works great. The sound is fabulous. Let me move on to a current. Well, okay. Let me move over here to the electronics shop part of it. This is where I do my work, and you can see there's quite an array of instrumentation, and good place to learn stuff, and a good place to just have a grand time. Let me move over here to the other room, and you'll see on the bench, these are projects that are, this one over here is the power supply for the Hot Water 101, and it's done. You can see new set of capacitors. In fact, almost everything's new. Here's a night oscilloscope on the workbench, ready to get started. This is a Hallicrafters receiver that I picked up at a crafts fair, and it's just getting started. And this is a Radiola RCA radio, picked up at the last Ham Fest for $5. Couldn't believe my eyes. Let me get back in here a little bit. You can see a big screen TV. I use that for all sorts of things. If I'm working on the radio, I can put the schematic up. I can watch. Sometimes I do simulations with LT Spice and antenna simulations, so I can sit back and enjoy myself. Here's some antenna projects that I'm working on, and you can see this roll of coax had just arrived. I was waiting for that. That's a 6-meter antenna on the table. Got that from Mary Harris as a loaner. You can see up here against the wall are two egg beaters, satellite antennas, one for 440 and one for 2 meters. Standing up here, I don't know if you can see all of it, but that's a 440 Yagi, sort of an experimental. Threw it together just to see if it would work. Actually, what I was doing is seeing if I could weather station on it, and sure enough, I did, and it's about 150 yards away. Going on to the rest of the shop, you can see a lot of tools, and sure enough, I got a lot of tools. Most of them are hand-me-downs, restoration projects. This is a Farmall 1941 Farmall, about ready to go back together. Here's the Cincinnati tool and cutter grinder, restored. That took a while. Had 3 of them, made 1 out of 3. Going into the shop, the other side of where the electronics place was, it's a Bridgeport mill. Got that from a friend, and it was recently reworked, so it's in great condition. I've added a lot of electronic stuff to it. Has what they call a DRO, keeps track of where the cutter is, stuff like that. And this South Bend lathe was the first tool I got, as far as the machine shop goes. Okay, let me do one really quick thing, and then we'll call it good. And since this is a show and tell, I figured we'd show. This device right here is a capacitor leakage tester. And here's an example of a waxy. And I have yet to find one of these that's still good. And this one's brand new, never been used. Okay, so the way this thing works is it charges the capacitor and then watches the current as the charge is complete. So here we go. It's discharged. We'll put it into test mode. And it's charging. There it goes. Good. If you put this waxy on there, it'll never go green. So it's kind of fun. It's not particularly valuable, but it was a fun project because normally the story with capacitors is if you throw them in a wastebasket and they make a noise, they're no good. And by that time, you got them out already anyways. Okay, I'm going to call it off right here. Give the rest of the folks a chance.
Thanks, Bill. I know that you do a lot of building and you bring a lot of things to the meetings, the meeting at Bella Vista and also the Ozark Wireless Society meeting. And you've always got something in your hand and something that you just built or something that you're about to restore. So kudos to you, and really fascinating. And thank you for being a member in an active part of Bella Vista Radio Club and also the radio clubs in the area. And that brings us to Steve Warner, K5SAW. Here's a little bit about Steve. He grew up in a farm in western Kansas, went to college to get a degree in chemistry. So there's a connection there. And ended up with a degree in mechanical engineering. Went to medical school for 3 years and hated every second of it. Got great jobs as an instrumentation and telemetry engineer at Cessna and Learjet. Retired in 2015 and moved to Bella Vista. Now he spends his time on electronics, antennas, and metalworking. And I know that he and Ed, KC0, they connect a lot with the different projects. I just talked to Ed yesterday, and he said, yeah, him and Steve, they do a lot of work together. So K5SAW, Steve, you're a mentor to many. Thanks for being a part of this, and we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Tom. This is my lab. I do a lot of science kind of projects, so not as much radio as the other stuff, but I have some kind of unusual equipment I thought I'd show you real quick. This is a bipolar amplifier, and it's essentially a mondo op amp. So if you need to drive something to all four quadrants, it's have it. Analyzer that makes an excellent XY plotter. Got a Tektronix 2445. It's been a real helpful piece of equipment. It's a load bank, so I can hook up a power supply and dial up any load I want, constant resistance, constant current. It goes up to 60 amps, and that sort of works pretty well for me on the ham radio business. Here's a Syncor PR51, and boy, if you're bringing up old equipment and you want to try to reform the capacitors, this is the equipment to have. It really works well.
Down.
And here I've got a function generator that I'm real happy with. It's a 2-channel, and you can control the phase between the waves. I really enjoy having that capability. Lab power supply, digital scope, spectrum analyzer, which I get a lot of good out of that spectrum analyzer. It's great for tuning up duplexers and things. And this is a service monitor, HP 8920, and it's wonderful. Here, let me power up a radio here. So it's a spectrum analyzer, and it'll give you the exact frequency. It'll tell you PL tones and all kinds of stuff. I have that driven by a GPS disciplined oscillator, the 10 meg reference. So it's good to about 0.00. Well, it's good to about 1 gigahertz, I guess, jitter there. So it's on the 10 meg. It pretty much brings it into where I can tell you if you're off by 1 hertz pretty easy.
Great.
And anyhow, there's my bench, and around here. Bill will appreciate that. I got me a brand new periodic chart. Here's my back room. I've got a Creality CRT 3D printer. I've been pretty happy with that. It's pretty inexpensive these days. Here's a repair project, but it's the first time I've ever had the entire Collins S-line together all at one time with the amplifier and the speaker and the console and the receiver, transmitter. Lots of parts.
I saw that.
And here's the other back room. This is kind of a mess, but this is my project right now, trying to redo my networking here for the house.
Collins, didn't
Anyway, it's kind of fun. And here's the security system that was never installed, and none of the wires are labeled, so I have to trace every one of them out. And more parts, and all my antenna stuff here in the back room.
I like that Collins.
Duplexers, and I've got a folding hex beam right here. I guess let's try to get that together for field day. That German folding hex beam.
Cameras.
Anyway, trying to think. It's too far to walk out to the shop. I've got a South Bend lathe like Bill does, and I love making metal chips. And I'm fortunate enough to have a 75-foot hallway, so I can string my antennas out here, and I've got a tape measure on the floor. So works well.
Okay.
I got. I'll give it back to you, Wayne. Thanks a lot. Wayne, are you there?
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Fascinating. And we really enjoyed thank you for letting us visit your shack, and thanks for all the information, and very, very informative. And, you know, you're just a great guy, Steve.
Wonderful,
Really
Steve.
are. All right. Well, we're going to go next to Ed, KC0DX, and a little bit about what you need to know about Ed. This guy, he's very, very active on the ham bands. He operates mostly CW. I believe he said he has been a ham for 42 years. And his other hobbies are astronomy and playing the guitar. And had the pleasure of coming over by his house yesterday, and he's got a nice antenna system. And he gave me a virtual tour of his house and backyard later on Skype. And so Ed's another treasure of the Bella Vista Radio Club and amateur radio in general. So Ed, show us your shack, what you've been up to, and take it away.
Yes. I'm still seeing Tom. Okay, there I am. Well, hello, everybody. This is Ed, KC0DX in Bentonville, and wonderful to be with the group tonight. I'm hearing it storm outside, so we've got some stormy weather rolling through now. But I hope everybody is safe, healthy, got supplies, loved by their families and friends. It's wonderful when you're isolated like this that we have this hobby to enjoy. And I'm sharing it with my family now. My sister Patty just got her license. Little Duncan's birthday's today, and he's on the air. Got him a radio and antenna and all the works. So how much better can it get than to have your family involved? Let me check my phone here. Wayne sent me a message. He's giving me a tip. And don't pay attention to YouTube. I know, I understand. I understand that there's a time delay. But wonderful to join you guys. Boy, Steve, what excellent shack you put together. And all your gear, spectrum analyzers, all that fancy stuff. Also, the other stations in there. My gosh, beautiful work, Bill. I really like those antennas on your roof. It gives you a real good ground plane. I used to do that when I lived in a mobile home back in my poor boy days. But anyway, I don't have any gear like Steve has or anything fancy. But what I do have is a lot of homebrew stuff that I love to build and tinker with. The main station here, I'll show you guys, is an ICOM 746 HF 6 meter and 2 meter rig. It's 100 watts on all bands, including 2 meters. I worked Canada with that thing on 2 meters last year with a 14 element beam. I love this radio. I built me a 2-channel homebrew audio mic mixer that I added to it with one of NR5Q's microphones, Bruce Vaughn. That's where this microphone came from. And with the ICOM rigs, you need a real high output hand mic like a Electret. Well, I built a 2-stage preamplifier, and this way I can use a vintage highball microphone on the old ICOM radio. So that's the main setup. You can see this homebrew tuner that I built. This is homebrew. It's got a couple E.F. Johnson air variables and a roller inductor and a bypass switch. I bought that cabinet for $10 at Hamfest and really like that tuner. It'll handle a kilowatt and it's homemade. I really like that. Astron 35, my Yaesu G450 XL rotor, another Yaesu power supply from a 2-meter rig back here. That's for monitoring the Bella Vista repeaters. This is my Ameritron AL80B amplifier, my linear. Now I've got some filters. I've got a little QRP rig here that was put together in a kit. It's called a BitX. It's a micro BitX that works 3 through 30 megahertz for a little over $100. That's a fun little rig, but now they've come out with an improved model that has a touch screen on it and no soldering at all to put that thing together. You simply plug things in and it's about $200, but it has a touch screen and all kinds of neat bells and whistles added to it. That would be a fun kit project to put that new micro BitX together. Guy in India makes that. Thanks for Tom's helping me get rigged up for this tonight. Hello to my buddy up in Springfield, Ron K0LY. He's watching us from Springfield, Missouri, and I know they're getting storms up there tonight. They're rolling right through Springfield too. Hope we're all safe. This is my main station. I also have other gear, and I'll show you that real quick. I have many hobbies here. I have, let's see if I can give you these. I have astronomy with telescopes. I play music and guitar. I play golf. I have another shack in here where I do my work. Let me walk back here. This is where I got all my meters and I do my soldering. Let me see if you guys can see this. I hope you still can. These are all homebrew rigs and you can see my tools in here. This is what I work with and solder where I don't make a mess in the house. Sometimes I do it in the garage. That's my homebrew receiver. All kinds of homebrew transmitters and VFOs and TR switches and antenna tuners, and that's an old Conar Model 400 I restored and painted. All kinds of power supplies and VFOs and keys. Charlie Rates KI5AZ made that. Crystal kits in Centerton, Arkansas, KI5AZ. And he's an electronic genius. That is a CW paddle, touch paddle that works on the capacitance of your skin. And I love that paddle. And I love it because Charlie designed it. Well, so much for my messy room. That's what I've also got a magnetic loop. I hope you guys can see this. I built this magnetic loop when I W5JAY at one of our club meetings. And so I went to Hobby Lobby and bought that coupling hoop, stainless steel hoop, and that's what I coupled. This is a 40-meter job, and the SWR is 0 on this thing. It matches right up to 40 meters, and it's really a good antenna, especially since Steve gave me this. Steve fixed me up with a 32 dB preamplifier that I've added to the receiver. And boy, you talk about some gain on that magnetic loop antenna. That works very well. Okay, let me see if I still am connected here, guys. And I'll turn it back to you. It's too dark to go outside and show you the antenna system. So I'll turn it back to Wayne. Let me put my camera down here. Sorry, I'll make you dizzy. I hope you got that video and audio. You guys let me know how that works using this camera. So thanks a lot, guys. I wish everybody a great week. Get on the air and operate and stay in touch with all your club members. Wishing you the best. 73 from Bentonville, KC0DX. Everybody have a good week. Have a good week.
Thanks, Ed. Yeah, we really appreciate you and all you do for the hobby, and thanks for sharing your shack. And it's going to bring us to Don, K5DB. But before we do, I just want to say that, this program would not be possible without the participants, but it probably would never get off the ground without Wayne Patton, K5UNX. And so you really have to, he put a lot of effort into it, a lot of sweat equity, and also a lot of brain power to pull this off. And he's got to try to control us, and that's not an easy job for sure. Anyway, let's go to K5DB, Don Banta. Some things you need to know about him is that he has been the chairperson and the organizer and the only guy that's really involved in putting together the Arkansas QSO party for many, many, many years. A lot of effort, a lot of time, and also a big kudos to Don because his rookie roundup that he did with 2 or 3 of our younger members of the club. They operated at Don's Shack with the call sign W5YO. And I'll let Don talk a little bit more about it. Let him do some bragging on that because it was quite a feat. He's also the vice president of the Bella Vista Radio Club. He's also a triple play awardee. He's DXCC. He operates mobile, mostly CW. And he's a mentor. He's an Elmer to so many of us, including myself, owe a lot to Don. And so I want to turn this over to Don Shack. And then he's going to talk a little bit about the Arkansas QSO party that's coming up on Saturday. So, Don.
Good evening, everybody. It's good to invite us all into your homes and or shacks tonight. And it's a shame we can't have our regular meetings, but this is a fairly good substitution for that. Again, and I join with Tom in saying a big thanks to Wayne for putting all this together. And I welcome you to my very humble shack here. I don't have near the workbench that Bill and Steve just displayed to us. But most of you, there's a lot of you have been here because we have here to host a lot of events and help a lot of new hams introduce them to the world of HF mainly, and also experienced hams. We've had them here for contesting and DXing, and those are my in particular 2 areas that I love. You can see back here behind me here, Tom mentioned my triple play award. I love wallpaper, everybody. You don't have to do this to your shack, but I'll turn the camera around here and let you kind of see the shack here. There's a lot of the awards that I have won over the years, and that's not near as many as a lot of people have acquired. But I basically I run a FTDX 1200 transceiver with an ALS 1300 1200 watt solid state linear. I use a monthly TA33 beam for the HF band, a Carolina Wyndham for the Lord. And you can see my little keyer and pedal, and compared to a lot of the big guns around the state and around the USA, I have a very, very humble station. But it has garnered me a lot of stuff over the years, and we've enjoyed it. As I told you, I love wallpaper, and here is let's see if I can get this right on here. Here's a notebook that I keep of all the other awards that I don't have a place for on my wall. And as you can see, either by myself or with some other very talented hams over the years, we won a lot of sweepstakes awards. And these are a lot of the awards, QSO parties and Route 66, and there's my newest one. That was when they had the Hiram Percy Maxim 150th anniversary. We participated in that and had a lot of fun. So we've had a lot of luck and had a lot of fun over the years in the area that I enjoy. So that was a quick tour of the shack. What I want to talk to all of you about this evening is Arkansas QSO party. I got off the subject there, Tom. I'm sorry. A couple of weeks ago, Tom wanted me to augment about the rookie roundup. We had three of BVRC's newer hams here. It was Clara, KI5HTX, and Jerry, KI5FPD, and Vincent, K5VCA. We had them over here, and we're going to be doing that a lot more, as well as some of the other members of BVRC. The virus situation kind of put a damper on things, but as time goes on, we hope to have some really good get-togethers with our new members and new hams, and help introduce them to the world of HF and some good quality operating. Well, Vincent and Jerry and Clara, they came over and they participated in their very first type of a contest and their very first rookie roundup. And so amazingly, those three young hams, and I did not operate, I did not log. I just sat over here on the couch and watched them go to it and gave them a few pointers, and that was hopefully helpful to them. And they placed second in the United States in the sideband rookie roundup. I was very surprised. I think they were too. And so we hope that maybe next year they can, if they wish to operate in that event, that they can shoot for the #1 spot in the nation for the rookie roundup. I do want to share my screen with you here about the Arkansas QSO party. If you do have HF privileges, or if you're a technician but you do have a handy-talkie or 2-meter capability, you can participate in the Arkansas QSO party, probably on 146.52 simplex. And on Saturday, the QSO party is day after tomorrow on Saturday. You can make some 2-meter contacts and then send in your log entry and get placed in the standings and in the results. And you can see your call there on the Arkansas QSO party website after we get everybody's entries in and get them on the website. Every year we have newcomers to the QSO party, and every year we have a lot of return people because they find out how much fun it is. If you've operated field day, it's a lot like that. It's very easy. All you have to do is give the station that has called you give them a signal report and the county you're in, and they give you a signal report and either the state or Canadian province or a DX country that they're in. It's as simple as that. And you keep a log. If in case some of you have never been to the QSO party website, let's share my screen here. And I think we're on here. my screen. This is the home page of the QSO party, and okay. Wayne is telling me to hang on here just a minute. Do I need to try to share the screen again, Wayne? Well, I clicked it. Yes. Yeah, I did.
Hey everybody, let me unmute here. Hey everybody, this is Wayne. Got a little technical difficulty. We'll get down back here in just a second. Down back here, the slideshow up for a minute.
Hello, everyone. Well, I guess the share screen isn't going to work this evening. We had a little technical problem there. So, but you can go to the Arkansas QSO Party website, which is at www.arkqp.com, and it will just go across, the top of the website there, and it give you different there. One is the news and updates. That will tell you who the co-bonus stations of the QSO party will be this year. If you've never participated in a QSO party, the big and important tab will be your operating aids. When you go to that tab, it will give you some tips on how to operate at exactly you're on sideband or CW. It will give you the counties, state, and province lists. You can download that. It will give you the rules. You need to familiarize yourself with those. They're not that hard. So, and if you want information on logging software, down at the very bottom of the operating aids page on the ARQP website, it will give you some of the more prominent and popular logging software programs. So I appreciate your time tonight. It's been a pleasure to come into your shack or your home. Everyone stay safe and healthy. And we hope to maybe work you Saturday, day after tomorrow, the Arkansas QSO party, and the rules, you can find it in there. It does last local time from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can operate all 12 hours, or you can operate a portion of them, operate a little bit, take a break, come back, because there will be a lot of stations especially, of course, in our country, the U.S. and some Canada and a few DX, but mostly U.S. But they will be tuning the bands for Arkansas. I've heard some people say, well, I'm going to tune the bands. If you're going to participate as an Arkansas station in the Arkansas QSO party, you need to be the one calling CQ. Don't forget that. They're going to be tuning for you. So just call CQ Arkansas QSO party, and the suggested frequencies are in the rules. It'll tell you which bands to use, either on digital or sideband or CW. Everything you need to know is on the Arkansas QSO party website. We've tweaked and peaked that over the years, and it's got just about everything. If you do have any other questions, though, just send me an email, sk5db@gmail.com, and we'll help you with any question you might have. And we hope you on one of the modes or one of the bands, probably 40 or 80 meters for local. But the main thing is get on there and have some fun, and get your feet wet with some HF operating. Not do that a lot. So, Tom, thank you so much, and we appreciate you and the fantastic job you do as our president this year. 73s, everyone, from Kilo 5 Delta Bravo, and back to Tom.
Thanks, Don. And I want to also reiterate my thanks to Wayne, K5 UNX, Dr. Bill, KG5 ZCI, Steve, K5 SAW, Ed, KC0DX, and Don, K5 DB. And I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, and know that this video will be on our BVRC YouTube channel, and I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, please visit BVRC's website for news and information, back issues of our great newsletter, and our Elmer 911. If you need any help, all you have to go is to Elmer 911 and tell us what the problem is, and someone will come to your rescue, hopefully. And also our classifieds if you have anything to sell or trade. So please take advantage of the website. Well, it's storming out here, and it's probably a good time to start unhooking everything and pulling some plugs. And I just, again, thank you for joining us. And remember that the Bella Vista Radio Club is here to serve you. And we encourage you to be a part of our endeavor in ham radio. So with that, I'm going to say thank you, gentlemen, for sharing your shack. Thank you for the audience. And 73, and I'm wishing you well.